Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your hosts Edward McQueen and April Garner.
Oops. Good evening. I'm your host, Ed McQueen, today, and this is the World Community Magazine. We, excuse us, but we're not perfect, but we're very good at our operations here. But sometimes we have those glitches. Okay, so excuse us, and I'm your host today, and April will be working from behind. And welcome to the program. So we want to start off by letting you know that today is one of those days that the World Community Magazine has seen a lot, including some recognitions today that we were not fully prepared for, but we did attend, and we'll let you know as we get into it. But today we have our law enforcement representative from the Horry County Police Department, and we want to get straight to this issue of fentanyl. Okay. According to some statistics, and I had the statistics up at one point about Horry County being the second largest county with fentanyl overdoses. Okay, so we only get right to it, and some other safety issues too. So here to help us with this and to take us a little bit farther into this is our Sergeant Dwight Tomlin. Sergeant, how are you doing?
All right. How are you doing, sir?
Well, it's good to finally get you connected, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's technicalities, brother.
I thought you were out there arresting a lot of people. That's why we couldn't get you on a timely manner.
I was about to myself because I didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah. But I see you got to come from your phone. But look. Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for being prepared to give us this host of information for our viewers today. Okay, and for most of you who don't know a whole lot about the Horry County Police Department, except getting for a ticket or something like that, I'm going to let Sergeant Tomlin give you a summary of his background and his tenure with the department and some of the topics. I will come back in reverse and we'll talk about some of the topics to hopefully to touch the community with. Okay, so Sergeant Tomlin, it's up to you, man. You can let us know a little bit about you.
All right, I appreciate it. I'm elated to be here. On behalf of the Chief of Police, Chief Joe Hill, and Horry County Police family, we are very excited for being a part of this show. Hopefully, we can share some information to change some mindsets and give a better understanding of how we operate, and to talk about our mission, and show some numbers where we came from and where we're going to. Our ultimate goal is to meet the needs of this county, and hopefully we can be able to do that. Just a little bit about myself. I'm a native of South Georgia, Bainbridge, Georgia. Served just over 21 years in the U.S. Navy as a military police. From there, I was in Myrtle Beach Police Department as a officer down there for 3.5 years. And since 2015, I've been here, Horry County Police Department. Since my tenure here, I've been served in the Central, North, Western precincts. I was on the motor unit for a while. Since I got promoted, I was in the West as a supervisor for a few years, and my promotion to sergeant Um, I am now the community engagement unit, also supervisor of the victim services component of this department, which we are all about meeting the needs of the victims of this county. Um, I've been blessed to be an ambassador for the state for community outreach, which I am always out in the neighborhoods, in the community, trying to meet the needs of the people, find the needs of the community, and try to be resourceful and meet those needs as well. Um, so I look forward to 23. And like I said, this past year, we served over 3,000 people for doing the holiday season between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we are growing, and we're as a department, as a unit, we are trying to meet those needs, and we've been very successful thus far. I am very blessed and, like I said, elated to have a boss that trusts me to make that happen. And thankfully, I've done that, and I look forward to what we continue to do for this community in the county of Horry.
Well, speaking of your boss, I'm sure he must have thought a lot of you to choose you to represent the department. And his boss is Chief Joseph Hill. Joseph Hill, yes, he's the Horry County Chief of Police, and he was gracious enough to allow Sergeant Tomlin to come and talk about some of the topics that we thought would be interesting to the community. And some of those topics are, like, again, the fentanyl, and I just gave us an overview of what impact that has been having. And then scam prevention tips and warnings, community outreach, safety awareness, and increasing the need based on new data, and also hiring of new officers. Okay, so we're going to try to touch base on all those things today. And if you all have any question or anything, just look in your comment section over there, type them in, and I'll see, or we'll see if Sergeant Tom can address those questions or comments. Okay, so Sergeant, let's start with the fentanyl issue. Okay,
Yes,
we again, Chief Hill must have thought a lot of you to choose somebody who, he thought that could talk very thoroughly about the fentanyl issue. And then we're so glad, man, that I mean, I met you before. I mean, we've met at different functions. So
yes, sir.
can you tell us a little bit about, I know we saw some statistics about the impact, but how much farther does it go? What are some of the things, some of the unique things that you think we could be doing, or some of the unique things that you all could improve on?
Well, I think as a whole, sir, I think we looking at the numbers from originally some years back when we first came in contact with this, knowing that it was a pandemic, epidemic, whatever you want to classify it, that it's a big issue in our county. I think it just takes a collaboration of everyone to really pay attention to what's really going on. And it starts
Right.
like when I talk to families about the youngsters, this fentanyl thing is it's definitely a pandemic that's out of control at this point.
It's heavy. Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you just don't know. It doesn't have a face on it, doesn't have nothing on it. It's just one of those things where it happens, and it has happened, and it's only gotten worse to the point where it's just out of control at this point. We have some measures in place to mitigate those issues, but the numbers are just off the planet. Since we started this, I know when it first came out pre COVID, we were talking about all the leaders here in the county and throughout the state was talking about the opioid issue, where we were going to try to put some programs in place, in which they are, but just with infrastructure and the size of the issue at this point, we still have homework to do. With the different clinics, you have Lighthouse, you have Walkabout Mental Health, the hospitals, I think everyone is doing the best they can with what we have at this point, but it's going to start in the communities where you see something, you say something, because of course fentanyl is not being grown here in Horry County. I know us as a police department, as a law enforcement entity throughout this county, we all on the same team, fighting the same fight, but we can't be everywhere.
Right.
So at this point, we're going to regroup and find out where we are looking at the numbers. And I think I can speak very, very, very strongly to say that the leadership in this county is really paying attention to it. I had a few moments with Solicitor Richardson yesterday and this morning, and we talked about that extensively. And we're trying to come up with some strategies to kind of, fill the void on this and see what we can do to get this back under control, so to speak.
Yeah, and Solicitor Richardson touched base on that. We had him on the program maybe a few months back.
Yes, sir.
And back in 22, I believe. And he touched based on that, and he strongly suggested that the issue of fentanyl was really growing, and that it should be a lot of proactive measurements to be taking place. And he was very, very concerned about it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
he right.
We all should be concerned, because the thing about this, sir, is this thing is really taking over the community because it's so freely given. It's a cheap thing where everybody, and the thing about it is you have to look at the culprit, or I should say the foundation of why folk are going into these areas to try to buy dope or drugs or what have you, however you want to classify it. Because of the medication being so high, or they're going through issues, whatever it may be, they are finding those folks that have these products and they're getting it. So, like I said, in the communities, see something, say something. I mean, we have to, I'm really preaching to the communities. I'm really harping on the communities to really take control of your community and do something. If you see something, say something. You don't have to give your name. You can be anonymous. We have tip lines, but you have to say something. Not saying anything, you're aiding and abetting what's going on illegally in your community. So we have to do better at that.
Now, I read some time ago where almost recently, where the antidote for fentanyl overdose was in short supply.
Narcan.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think I'm not sure. I don't have an educated answer on that at this point. I know that Narcan has been out there, and it's still out there. I know that the supplies got to be running low because of the issues. And once I get into these numbers, you'll understand why. And sometimes some of these things go on. You have the same repeat offenders that's overdosing every day. I mean, it's like clockwork. You got the same people. I would say a high percentage are your same users that the medical personnel, first responders are going to every day, if they have not deceased already, because it's something that calls your name. And when they call their name, they go back. They're trying to catch something that they can't catch. It's
Right.
one of those things where you get that high, and now you're trying to chase something that you never can catch until it takes you out.
Until it takes you out.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
No, sir.
No, that doesn't sound good. And that puts a burden on the you all's task of combating this thing. I'm sure.
Absolutely. It's tough, but we're here for the long haul, and we're just gonna keep strategizing and putting our heads together and figure out what we can do. I mean, because not doing anything is not the answer.
It's not the answer.
So we got to figure out how. And first of all, the why is why are people doing this? Why is it getting so bad? And we have to come up with the how we going to combat it. So we're at that point now, and I think the right people are on board, and I think we're going heading in the right direction. It's not going to happen overnight, but the thing about fentanyl, when you have these users and any other drug, whether it's meth, heroin, whatever it may be, they're terrorizing these communities because once you get on that stuff, it's not you anymore. You know, you're under direction of that spirit of whatever's in your system.
Right.
So that puts everybody in danger. So that's something that's not just fentanyl. And I think, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I think come the 1st of July, the law is going to pass for the trafficking of fentanyl. We're cracking down on that. So that's supposed to pass either the end of June, 1st of July, some time frame. We have the trafficking for heroin and meth, but the fentanyl is on the table now.
And what do you call it?
Trafficking.
Trafficking?
Yes, trafficking fentanyl.
Okay, so are we talking about serious, a more serious offense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Possession of it.
Yes, sir.
So, is that like excuse my naivety on that. Is that like a felon or?
Oh, it's felony. Anything dealing with that type of drug is a felony, definitely. You know, depending on what you got, how you package it, and all that stuff, that all has a bearing on what your charges are and what your penalty will be. So that's a big push. That's a big plus for those that are not doing what they're supposed to do and out there doing that stuff. If that law passes, you know, look out, because it's a tough one, and it needs to be tough. Because
the consequences of that of a teenager being caught with that impacts his ability for employment later on.
Yes, sir.
Because he'll have a felony on his record, right?
Correct. Absolutely correct.
That doesn't sound good. I can see some consequence. Yeah.
The push with these youngsters is some of that stuff you do out there, that stuff gonna stay with you for life. It's not just, I'm gonna do this, and I'm a juvenile, and once I become 18, I'm good. No, that's not how that works. Some things will stay with you, depends on what you're trying to do. Any drug charge or larceny charge with theft or anything like that, you can't even get a job at McDonald's, because no one is going to hire you dealing with property or funding when you have some type of drug charge or larceny charge on your record. Not going to happen.
We're in for a long haul then, because in the community, because I'm going to try and correlate income with the usage of drugs, okay, and the selling of drugs.
Yes, sir.
That doesn't sound too promising to me in terms of, it doesn't sound encouraging to get make a lot of teenagers be productive by the time they get 21. I mean, if they felt that they're out of society because of the felony, I know you may not be able to answer that, but I'm saying if they felt that they're out of society, if they got a felony on their record by the time when they were 18, and now they're looking to get employment at 20 or 21, they're going to look back and say, well, you had a felony when you were 18. It was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes, sir. And let me be clear on that before you go any further. I don't want to forget. Now, depending on what you did, there are programs out there that you can get that stuff. Some things can get removed depending on what it is. And you have to go to the solicitor's office for that. But it costs money to do that. But my philosophy is, why even go through that? Just don't do it. Just do what you're supposed to do. But once again, it starts back at home. We have to really harp on those situations. And I see it all the time being in the neighborhoods. I am not one of those guys that go out there. My philosophy is, I was taught this a long time ago, you don't look down on no man unless you're going to help him up. But they got to want to get up. So right. My philosophy is, I go to the parents and I talk to the kids. This is a team effort, parenting one-on-one. We have to be a parent. I understand you have to work or whatever, but it does not negate the fact that you're still a parent. The excuse, I only got one parent at home, that doesn't work. That's just an excuse. Right and wrong doesn't change. And the bottom line is, if you don't do that at home, you cannot expect success out in the public, especially in the school system. If you can't take care you don't have structure at home, you're not going to have structure in once they leave the confines of your house. So you cannot expect good results to come when you don't have control in your house. So that's why it has to start in the home. That's why we have to go out in the community and have community outreach or whatever we need to do, and we need to really go to those tough areas, because I tell you, you struck a nerve earlier when you were talking about people feel like there's no hope, and I'll tell you how that is. There's some places here that's still running generators, don't have any water in their house even from 3 storms ago, because they have become accustomed to that lifestyle, and they just don't feel like they don't need to do it. They just can't get out of that rut. So how do you combat that? You have to go and encourage those folks. And to me, that's where community outreach goes, whereas the churches, the community, other community leaders, we have to go out there and find those tough places and go out there and encourage these people. Look, there is a better day tomorrow. You just have to keep looking forward, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and we can get out of this rut. But not doing anything, that's not gonna help the situation, because all we're doing now is you are setting a sanctuary for crime in that area.
Wow. Oh man. One of our commenters, as you can see, rolling across the screen. Can you see that on your screen? Okay, so they're welcoming you to the program.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the bottom.
I don't see it on my screen.
That's okay. That's okay. It says it's from Ms. Joella McQueen. That's my last name too, right? So,
okay.
So they're welcome. Sergeant Tomlin reported there's another drug more potent than this drug. So, have you heard of this other deadly drug?
What drug is that?
I don't know. I think I heard of another drug that had come on the scene.
Well, there's plenty of them out there. I mean,
the newest one that came out, and it said that that's equivalent to or does greater harm than the fentanyl.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't have that name right off.
Yeah, I forgot the name myself. Perhaps she'll tap it back in.
Let me explain something here. The thing about fentanyl is a drug. They use that stuff in the hospital. So it's an oxygen based. If you get that in your system, one of the primary recoveries in that is maximum oxygen to get back in your system.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's why normally people you see there's overdose on fentanyl and they start the agonal breathing. That's what that's from. So that's why most of the time, if you ever seen someone overdose and first responders get there, one of the first things they do, if they give a dose of Narcan or 2 doses of Narcan, the next thing you see is they pumping oxygen in there, because that's one of the main factors in there to get you in the recovery mode.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. As far as I heard that, I thought it was just that antidote.
No, the antidote works, but the oxygen is really what you need too. The antidote will work, depends on what stage you're in when they get to you. I mean, I've seen some victims of that where they weren't cold, but they wasn't hot. Right. And I've seen some people that they hadn't been down that long. I mean, if it's your time to go, you're gonna go. I mean, I've seen both ends of the spectrum. I've seen some people they've overdosed. As soon as the first responder shoot that Narcan them, they come to in the recovery mode and they took off. Haven't seen them since. No, it just depends on that reaction, man. That drug is something serious.
We have another comment, a question from Miss Priscilla Fuller. Can you see it now on the bottom of your screen? You got your glasses on.
Yes, I have my readers on now.
Okay.
Yeah, it says.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we have.
Have you guys thought about a committee to get ideas from community?
Sure, and that's called town hall meetings. Matter of fact, we have one in North Myrtle Beach scheduled next week.
Next week when?
Uh,
Do you know a specific date? Or
Hold on a second. I'll get it to you. Give me 1 second. I wasn't prepared for that. Hold on a second. My apologies. It is on. It is on April the 14th, Friday.
April 14th. And that's located where?
That's at the North Myrtle Beach High School.
North Myrtle Beach High School.
Hold on a minute. Let me make sure that that's accurate. Hold on a second. I feel spring of emails. Hold on a second.
Yeah, he'll always provide a time for that too if you get it when it starts.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Let me see.
So yeah, it's when you say North Myrtle Beach, I guess.
It's the high school right there on Sea Mountain Highway.
Oh, okay. Sea Mountain Highway. That's almost in.
That's only North Myrtle Beach High School right there on Sea Mountain Highway.
Okay. All right. Yeah, perhaps we'll dig the address up sooner or later and put it on the screen.
I'll give it to you. Hold on a second. Y'all hold tight for a minute. Let me make sure I got this right. You go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said you can go ahead and finish what you're saying. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, because all this come under the community outreach, and that's going to be key here in dealing with this subject, this topic of fentanyl.
Yes.
Okay, that's going to be key, man.
And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This is some serious stuff. It's not going to be easy. I'm going to tell you the biggest issue that we have, whether it's talking about fentanyl or someone being on the wrong side of the law. The biggest pushback you get is for those who are coddling their kids or are in denial.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just don't get it. I mean, I can write a book about the crime that goes on in some of these neighborhoods, and we're thinking it's somebody on the outside, and come to find out it's one of the neighborhood kids here with stay with their grandparents or their mother. The mother knows they have a drug problem, but they didn't say anything. So this kid living right 2 houses down is terrorizing everybody in the neighborhood, and we thinking it's somebody on the outside and somebody actually right on the same street. You know, so I mean, like it's really about really taking control of your own household and really having an understanding of seek help. If you don't know what to do, you know what I mean, we're responsible, we can help. But you have to ask. Like I told you before, we can't be everywhere. You know, you see something, say something. If you need help, you can call the police department, you call me, whoever you need to call, and we can get you headed in the right direction.
Right.
Something.
Now, the adventure, I'm going to use the word adventure for lack of a better word, of confronting someone with fentanyl. Does that now, is violence usually associated with that in any form, or is that something that's silent and you just go and usually a lot of overdose? That's where the issue comes up.
Well, the thing about fentanyl is 99.9% of the time when someone takes fentanyl, as soon as they hit the system, they're gone. Now, the after effects of that can sometimes be violent because the person wakes up and, you know, it's like you coming up out of a coma. They just lose their mind because they don't know where they are. Their mind populated. Fentanyl is very direct, so to speak, as soon as it hits your system. I mean, when I was up on the north end, I mean, I've stopped people at the red light up in North Myrtle Beach, a little river area. They got the needle in their arm at the red light with their foot on the brake. I had to put my patrol car up against their bumper or the fire truck there until we can bust the one out to get the car in park and get them some help. But it's been, I would say, especially pre-COVID, it wasn't a day that I worked that we wasn't averaging 5 or 6 overdoses in one area a day. I mean,
Right.
the red light car sitting there, needle hanging out the arm right at the red light. You know, you have
hanging out with the arm.
Sir?
Is it hanging out?
Sure, hanging out the arm. As soon as they hit the system, they got. You know, we've had people at the grocery store. You know, two at a time. Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, buddy. They both go in the restroom and both of them overdose right there. You know, and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a realist now, so I'm gonna be real about this. I was probably, it's 23. Back in 2017. I'm not gonna tell you which one, but I was at a Walmart. And this thing struck my heart really hard. I was getting some medication. There was a senior lady in front of me that she was a diabetic and she couldn't afford her needles. And they wasn't gonna give them to her. So I actually pulled money out of my pocket and bought the needles for the lady because, look, man, this is just.
That's like saving a life. That's just like somebody drowning.
Exactly. And my point is, they weren't gonna give her needles, but then when the drug addict come up, they give them needles for free because they're saying that they want them to have clean needles. Where's the humanity in it? What did they do that at? I don't get it. So I actually called the pharmacist and I called the manager. I'm like, I have an issue with your store. I said, because you guys have someone here who has a serious medical need, life or death, and you don't let them get their medicine, but then you have someone over here that's making bad choices, victim of their own circumstances, and you giving them free needles. There's a problem. I have a problem with that. And the pharmacist said, I never thought about it like that. What do you mean? So these are the things I'm talking about. Some people just don't think about the results in there when they do something, how it affects other people. That's the way it's going to be.
Yeah. You know, we could stand here and talk about a bunch of morbid stories like that, right? I bet.
That one right there. That was to my heart right there.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're going to meet up to it again at some point. Sergeant Tomlin, let's see how this grabs people. Scams, okay. You all have some things in place where you can kind of scope out or have guidelines for prevention of scams. And what's a major scam that you all have to be aware of today?
Well, I tell people all the time, anything that sounds too good to be true is probably not true. You have people now, because of the cell phones, internet phones. I mean, you can go on the internet and dial a number. I can sit right beside you and call you. You think I'm calling you from California. And you can't track those type of calls. So what I tell people, and we've been telling people as law enforcement, is there's some things that's not realistic. It just doesn't happen. There's no utility business that's going to call you, especially after hours, and tell you if you don't go buy a green dot card and come and pay, go to Walmart or go to Walgreens or CVS and send this money, or we're going to turn your lights off. That's fake news. That's not how that works. So that should be your first flag.
Right, yeah.
They send you a bill, and they send you another bill saying it's a final notice, you're going to get your stuff cut off. They don't call you other than that. The sheriff deputy doesn't call you from the sheriff department telling you that little Johnny's locked up over in Mexico. You need to send $40,000 or however much so he can get let out of jail. That's not how that works. That's fake news. So any entity that calls you that's out of the ordinary, was the sheriff's office, police department, or whatever, and they are asking you for monetary anything, you need to ask for a supervisor and get their number and hang up the phone and call the police.
But I guess the bottom line is, anytime somebody comes on the phone and asks and tell you to send some money at any place,
that's right.
That's yeah.
And I my thing is, I tell people all the time, especially, and now it used to be during the holidays, but now it's all the time. Oh, you ask me with your bank, the Social Security number, all this stuff. No, we don't do that. No, that's not practical to do that.
Right.
So you have to think outside the box. If you have to think about it, don't do it.
Because if you got to think about it, don't do it.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So are there any documents that you all have printed that you think, or you've had them sent out already, or you have it broadcasted, indicating some guidelines for which to follow to prevent being scammed?
Well,
And the second question is the age group of the most prevalent victim of scam. That's the elderly.
The elderly, it's one of those things where you just can't gauge it. It's all across the board. I would say, it's just the elderly. And to be honest with you, I think I can say this liberally that most of the time, I would say, based off what the circumstances are, after listening to the people's story,
right,
there has to be somebody that knows you or know of you,
right,
depending on what the situation is, because some of this stuff is too outrunning.
Yeah,
yeah. But like I said, it's all about just a sixth sense, brother. If you on the phone, somebody calls you, or even the people who you think you know, still be slow to trust you. I mean, you got to draw the line somewhere. You just don't know. You really just don't know.
Just don't, man. But I tell you what, Sergeant Tomlin, we're gonna go to a commercial, and you hang tight, right? They don't leave now, okay? I know you're not going anywhere. You got too much wonderful information that we need for you to leave. So we're gonna go to commercial, and we're gonna come back. Okay.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
This is Jerome McQueen of Academics, the national movement to encourage our young people to choose STEM as career aspiration.
I had a really great biology teacher. She was like nationally recognized. She got to meet President Obama.
So this year I'm working with 3D printing, actually being able to use my skills from A&T to design things on the computer and actually see them become a physical part.
Okay, we're back, and the little mishap we just saw there about it wasn't mishap. I was referring to something else. I thought my name had run across there inadvertently. So, but anyway, glad you all could join us back. And again, we are talking with Sergeant Dwight Tomlin of the Horry County Police Department. And Sergeant Tomlin, we went over some of the topics, but there was one that I thought, and thank you very much for elaborating on the part about the scams. And when we left off, we were talking about if you had any kind of material relative to the prevention of scams that you think the community needs to have access to, or can you divert them to a website or whatever? Could you do that?
Well, we can get something together on that. Like I said, the biggest thing I can tell right now is just on this podcast is if it don't sound right, it's not right. Like I said, anytime anybody calls you asking for your personal information, just don't. That's not practical to do that. That's not realistic. So, and anytime anybody asks you for some money for whoever's locked up or put away or whatever, that's not practical either. You need to call the police and hang up the phone. If you can get the number, get the number. There's no need to try to go back and forth. I mean, that's not going to work that way. So I tell people if someone calls asking for money, I mean, or trying to scam you, or you give your number, because what happens is, I say all that to say that it sounds very, I don't know, very broad, but it's not, because 9 times out of 10, people are waiting until they done sent off $10, $20, $50,000. Then they realize, I shouldn't have done that. Then they call the police after the fact. And like I said, if they're utilizing internet phones or whatever that's untraceable, even with those green dot cards, Visa cards from Walmart, whatever, I mean, that stuff's not traceable. Once that transaction goes through, even with Western Union, depending on where, besides Walmart, I mean, that money's gone. So my thing is, wherever they telling you, little Johnny, little Mike, whoever locked up, they'll be all right until you figure out that you can confirm where they are or who they are. They're not going nowhere.
They're not going anywhere.
That's right. So they can stay there wherever they are until you figure out what's going on. Because I've had instances where, people call. And that's why I use it. That's why I kind of went on the term earlier about someone knowing who it is. This family, the grandmother, the daughter, and son was supposed to go on vacation overseas. So someone called like the next day, and unbeknownst to her, they didn't leave because the grandson was sick.
Yeah.
So somebody goes, hey, he's locked up in Mexico. We need to send some money. So she wound up sending like $10,000. And after she sent the money and got back, the grandson called and said, Grandma, we didn't leave this morning because I was sick. We're not leaving until tomorrow. So she called the police after the fact. I'm like, I felt bad because this stuff happens, man, and people just don't think. Because depending on what that request is or what's the ingredients of that request, your thought process is, I want to get this person whatever they need to get whoever back. So sometimes you got to take that extra moment just to think about what you're doing.
Look, man, this is valuable information. It really is. I mean, to some people, it may sound redundant that they're already taking those kind of precautions, all that kind of stuff. But, but to a lot of people, who just don't get out and who don't answer phones at all. And when they decide to really answer the phone, I mean, it's so convincing. The scam is so convincing, puts them in a predicament whether if they don't do it, they fear the consequences, especially the elderly.
Right. You're exactly right.
So, and that's why I asked, was an age group, any particular age group that's been targeted?
No, it's mostly, like I said, most of the time it's the elderly. But now, I mean, it could be, there have been some young people too, just depending on the situation. Right.
Okay. Now, so before we let you get out of here, we got another comment. It says, can you see that at the bottom of the screen?
Yes.
Miss Priscilla Fuller, she said, what other types of community engagement is your department involved?
Oh, we're 1,000% across every line there. Depending on, it doesn't matter what the community is. I mean, for me, it's a unique thing for me being in the department, and like I said, the boss, he created this new position, and actually, to make it fair, everybody had to to actually apply for it or whatever. But I'm an ambassador for the state for community outreach through a program called Great Grocery through Serve and Connect, which one of our main resources is Walmart. So we're it's 15 ambassadors throughout the state of South Carolina. But for me, I've taken mine to the max because, like I said, I do Great Grocery. One box of Great Grocery can feed a family of 4 for 5 days.
Really?
So, oh yeah, and I have 130 boxes back in my office right now. Matter of fact, I had my kiosk, but yeah, we are.
What is it called? Great Groceries?
Greg's Groceries.
Greg's Groceries.
Greg's Groceries. I'll tell you where that all came from. There was an officer that was killed in line of duty up in the Columbia area, Forest Acres, back in 2015, something like that. Well, his wife, before he got killed, he talked to his wife about starting some type of community outreach to help the homeless, to help the people that those are less fortunate or in need. So in that, he wound up getting killed in line of duty. So she took that vision of his and she took it to SLED, the police department, and they adopted the program where it's a statewide program now where we go into the community and we give out these boxes to the needy. But my thing is I also take the Great Grocery, and also I have live boxes where I have a main distributor from North Carolina from Campbell's Soup, Lay's potato chips down in Charleston. I get cases of potato chips from down there, peanuts, bread, what have you. I can get meats from other places. There's a place up on Highway 9, Spokes of Hope. He's one of my main resources. That's one of my across the border resources where we go all over the place. So whatever the need is in the community, we meet that need. I mean, no matter what it is, I make it happen because that's what we do. That's what my goal is, my drive is.
Well, since you're the new ambassador, is there any way that would you like to post your phone number that you can be reached?
Yes, sir.
Can you give that out?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My phone number.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yes.
Yeah, you feel free. Whatever. I mean, I'm available.
Okay, you can give it to us, and then we'll have it going across the screen.
All right. It's my cell number is 843-742-6713.
Okay, 843.
Yes, sir.
712.
742.
742.
6713.
6713. Okay.
You want my email address too?
That'd be nice. Yes.
My email address is Tomlin, TOMLIN, D as in Dwight, at HORRYCOUNTYSC.gov.
Okay. Tomlin D.
Yes, sir.
At Horry County SC, which is South Carolina, right?
Yes,
Dot
sir.
.gov. Dot .gov. There you go. There you go. Right. That's it, right?
Yes, sir. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Today, Sergeant Tomlin, you weren't there, but I just escaped. I was at the courthouse today, and I know you regret missing that yourself. It was
Jimmy was talking about.
But before we do that, can we talk about hiring of new officers?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes, sir. You can go to our county website, horrycounty.org, and if anyone's interested in being a police officer or any other position we have here, civilian positions, we look forward to having you. I mean, we are a family-oriented organization here. We love people. We love one another, and we're about helping one another. And we look forward to anyone that's interested in becoming a part of our family. Horry County Police Department is one of the top-ranked police departments here in the area, and I would say even in the state.
In the state.
Yeah,
Top ranked.
Yes, sir. You better believe it. Second to none, foremost.
Second to none. Foremost. You sound like Marine, man.
That's it. Go hard or go home.
What's that? But that's good. I'm glad you think of your department that way, and that's very encouraging. There, your email is back up on the screen again for our viewers to take note of, and in case you want to get in contact with Sergeant Tomlin. Okay, so Tomlin, you said you're still hiring new officers?
Yes, sir. We still are trying to get. Like I said, you have to understand we're restructuring now. We're getting ready to build a new precinct. We're a couple of years out from that. My leadership is dealing with, they're working with county council now, and we're trying to get those new officers ramped up for that new precincts coming out in Carolina Forest, which is much. We have quite a few officers that's in the academy now. We have quite a few that just came back that's actually in the field training officer program right now to get on the road. Going through that program, it'll take about 28 weeks, and they'll be ready to go. Like I said, it's we're a department that's growing.
Right.
Family, we love people, man. I may sound biased, but I feel like we're the best department around. And my philosophy is we the county police, we take the bull by the horn. That's what we do. We set the example for everybody.
Well, as long as you got leadership like Chief Joseph Hill.
Yes, ssir. Top notch.
Top notch. Yeah, he's top notch. My compliments to him. He was at the ceremony today. And I want to get into that. The ceremony was in recognition of something else, something I don't think a lot of one generation at least doesn't know about. And that is they recognized, or they read off a proclamation also, recognized two pioneer Black policemen. One was the very first. His name was Mr. John B.S. Moore, back in 1922. Okay, in Conway, and he served most of the Black areas, and he was assigned to do that, so to speak. But he was really proclaimed as the first peace officer. And then they also recognize, and most of us will know, Mr. Samuel P. Floyd, used to call him Mr. Slim Floyd.
Yes.
He was first full-time. That's what he was recognized as, the first full-time Black police officer in Horry County, and especially Conway. And there you go. There you go, right there.
Yep.
And it was accepted by his son, Dr. Preston Floyd, or Professor Preston Floyd, and I think that's the local councilman, Mr. Crawford, I believe his name, that presented that, and he read off all the wording on the proclamation for Mr. Floyd. So congratulations to Preston and his family, and it was a scrambling time trying to get those photos to April kind of quicker like. But I took a number of photos, but this one was the Floyd family, which is Dr. Floyd, along with the Moore, Mr. John B.S. Moore, and it was accepted by his great grandson's daughter, which is on the left, Miss Larita White, but she's the daughter of City Councilman, the Honorable Larry White, and that is the Moore family all around in the background, and there she is. She accepted it for Mr. Larry White, and Larry was going to accept it for, as he has done on another occasion, accepted it for Mr. John B.S. Moore. I thought it was a very, very not ironic, but I thought it was a great recognition that they thought of to do that. Somebody who back in 1922, my understanding, and we're going to have in the issue of the April magazine, the March issue, I believe, we have that laid out where they were accepted plaques for the same two officers, pioneer Black officers recognition, and you can go online to our website, wcmagazine.net, and you can see it all right there. Okay. So there you have it. Congratulations to the Moore family and the Floyd family again. And thank you so much again, Sergeant Tomlin.
Yes, sir. I have a question. I have something else to add right quick.
All right. Well, see, you got another commenter there. As you can see at the bottom of your screen, said they wanted to assist you with the outreach program. CJ Williams.
Yeah, that's one of my new advocates. She's been top notch.
All right.
Soldier ready to get on the battlefield.
Ready to roll.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
That community meeting.
Yes.
That town meeting is April the 10th.
April the 10th.
Yes, from 6 to 8 at the North Myrtle Beach High School there on Sea Mountain Highway. Can't miss it.
Can't miss it.
Buses, football field, and a big building. Can't go wrong.
North Myrtle Beach High.
Yes, sir.
North Myrtle Beach High.
Yep.
Used to be Chestnut.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right.
And what else I was gonna tell you? Also, Mr. Softy gonna be there the first fifth.
One of the comments. Can you give us that date again, please? It was that April 10th.
April the 10th.
April the 10th. At what time, by the way?
6 to 8.
From 6 to 8 p.m.
Yep. That's Monday week. That's next Monday.
Next Monday, from 6 to 8 at North Myrtle Beach High School.
Yes, sir.
And North Myrtle Beach High School is on Sea Mountain Highway.
Yes, sir.
I don't know the address there, but
hold on. Give me 1 second. I got
you. It'll be good to have you there.
Oh, I'm the moderator.
Yeah.
I'll be knowing what you're doing.
Yeah. That's great, man. It's man, it's more exciting that we got you on the program tonight.
Hey, I'll come back anytime you want me to. I love to talk.
Can I tell the people who your brother is?
Go ahead.
Can I tell the viewers, huh?
Tell them what?
Who your brother is?
Go
for it.
You know you're not right.
I'm not without your permission. I will say. I mean,
you can tell. You can do whatever.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's my
coach,
cousin, my brother.
He's a cousin. Okay, Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah. That's it.
So, and so, having said that, here we are again on our screen, April 10th, 6 to 8 p.m. at North Myrtle Beach High School on Sea Mountain Highway.
It's 3750 Sea Mountain Highway, Little River, South Carolina.
Okay. All right.
3750 Sea Mountain Highway.
3750 Sea Mountain Highway, Little River.
South Carolina, 29566.
We don't need all that. But I know you. Hey, that's a sign of how thorough you are.
Yeah, I don't assume anything.
Yeah, right. Absolutely, man. That's right.
Yes, sir.
So we got it up there on the screen for our viewers to see. So look, Sergeant Tomlin, man, it's been. Here's Miss McIver says she sees the resemblance. I don't know if you know Miss Marjorie McIver. Everybody knows she's the icon of one of the icons of Conway, icons of Horry County.
Okay. Well, I look forward to working with the communities. Like I said, one of the biggest things, just to recap at the end here, one of the things we're going to bring back into the focus here is Neighborhood Watch program. We're going to implement that back. We're going 100% with that. It's going to be a task for me. I talked to my boss about it, so I'm going to make 100% contact through the communities throughout Horry County, and we're going to,
so
put it out.
Call it community. What do you call it? Neighborhood
watch.
Neighborhood watch.
Yes, sir.
Is that like a number of people walking through neighborhoods with? No,
sir. Yeah. It's a neighborhood-based program. Basically, I introduced to the neighborhood, was HOA-driven neighborhood or just a neighborhood.
Right.
You figure out who your block captains are, who your senior people are.
Okay. All right.
Program. All I do is give you the safety portions of it, set the foundation for you. You run with it.
Okay. So All right. So in each neighborhood, which may encompass 2 streets or something like that, 2, 3 streets.
If it's 3 houses, have it. Doesn't matter.
I said, yeah. Let that be the point person, the person to pinpoint for you, for the information disseminating and
Right.
and arranging things with all the other people in the neighborhood, what they got to do to, for example, they want to get rid of drug activity or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
I see you got a great a scholar on here. I just see his comment up there.
Oh, Mr. Dyson.
Man, I don't know if I'm rated now. I need to get off here. I didn't know he was on there. I can't do the same.
You got.
He too powerful.
Well, Reggie.
Reggie. Wow.
Reggie has some information. He has some information at a great station over there.
That's good. Good stuff.
Yeah. He does a fantastic job, man. He does a fantastic job over there.
Yep. But I really appreciate the opportunity to come on. Like I said, we're here to assist, motivate, regulate,
Right.
whatever we need to do. We're here to help. And anytime you need us to update anything or come on, just give me a shot. We'll make it happen. Captain.
I'd like to, before we're gonna here he comes up again. He says, how was work?
My brother, you're a late bloomer.
Yeah, he's a late bloomer. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. How was the work kind of handling the drug problem? Yeah. Well, Reggie, you're gonna have to look at the rerun on that. Just go to the website, Reggie. You can see this all over again.
I got 11. We'll be running.
Now, yeah, you go to the website. You see a replay of this. Everybody. I mean, that's applicable to everybody.
No, that was a point. That was for me. That's why you put that up there. I call him up.
So before we leave, I'd like to let everybody know that Sergeant Tomlin is a regular attendee of the Community Law Enforcement Appreciation Committee. They have meetings, and have a lot of your policemen are there, and they have recognition of a policeman of the week or policeman of the month or something like that. Policeman of the month, I believe, right?
It's police of the month. Officer of the month.
Officer of the month, yeah. And I thought that's really, really a great thing to have. To show appreciation. And you got, this can go on for a long time because you got so many officers, and it's just one per month that it's appreciation, and that's good. It's very good. So just want to let everybody know that Reggie, by the way, Reggie Dyson is the co-chairman. He and John Signer, those two, they've been doing a great job at the handling that Community Law Enforcement Appreciation Committee. Okay, so having said that, we got a. Oh, yes, you go, Miss McIver. She said great information. She said she can tell that you're a people person.
I appreciate that. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Reggie, of course.
Reggie
said the citizens needs to know. I mean, that's Reggie, that's
always one. We
okay.
love you.
All right. So look, appreciate you again, man, and regards to the chief for allowing you to do this. And I'm sure he'll probably want you to come on at any time.
Yes, sir.
And hey, you need to be a regular. Okay.
Yep. Hey, I can make it happen. Let me know. I love it.
All right. We'll do that.
I'll bring my teammate that wants to help out. I'll bring her on here. We'll be a co-host. I don't know if you can handle both of us on the same.
Who's that?
That my advocate that came up there saying she want to help out.
Mr. Dyson.
He's from Conway.
Oh, CJ.
Firecracker, CJ.
Oh, okay. All right. We're gonna do that, man. I mean, because these are kind of conversations that we need, and things are always happening.
It's not just me. It's about everybody, brother. I'm just out there to motivate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meditate. Whatever we need to do, make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So, our viewers, I was told that we can have up to 10 people at a time. Okay, at one time. Okay, so whomever you need to bring on, you think is going to deliver some very critical information, which you have done tonight, this evening. You know, deliver some very critical information. So, how many people do you think? Up to 10, well, up to 8 probably, because you got me and the co-host.
Right.
You think need to deliver some very critical information for the community to hear. Please do so. Okay, please think about that, and we'll certainly try to make it happen. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't wait till this new neighborhood watch thing come back.
Yeah,
again.
we got.
Okay.
It's a work in progress, but we're gonna make it happen.
Oh, good, fantastic. All right, Sergeant Tomlin. Until the next time. That's what I'm going to say. Until the next time.
Till the next time, till we meet again.
Tell him and meet again. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Take care, man.
Thank you for watching the World Community